Welcome to USA News. Today, we'll take a look at the latest antics of presidential candidate Donald Trump, who played a hilarious clip of Kamala Harris on the Jumbotron during his rally in Montana. Immediately after, Vice President Kamala Harris delivered a powerful response by exposing Trump's secret misdeeds during her rally in Nevada. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel to stay updated with the latest breaking news.
Grossly incompetent, and in my opinion has a very low IQ, but we'll find out about her IQ during the debate, okay? Let's find out about her IQ. So, we have this great system. I want to show you just one other thing, please. Do you mind putting it up, please? Thank you.
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right?
The Caribbean nations, island nations, in the Western Hemisphere. That is where the Caribbean is. We are also in the Western Hemisphere. They are our neighbors. I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, Space is exciting. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down. We will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should. Yes. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. It's really difficult to drink out of a paper straw when if you don't gulp it down immediately, it starts to bend. Yes. And then, the little thing catches it, and then, so we got to kind of perfect that one a little bit more. Do you know, a bit of a history lesson. Do you know that the women's teams were not allowed to have brackets until 2022? So the United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. AI is kind of a fancy thing. First of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence. As a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being a... Turn that off!
So if you listen to Kamala's speeches, you'd never even know that she's been running the country. She's been running the country for 4 years and doing a horrible job. Look at what's happened to our country. We are a failing nation. I hate to say it, we are a failing nation. I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish I didn't have to go and do this. I wish they were great. I wish they'd make our country great, but they're going to destroy our country. You know it, they even know it, and probably they're doing it on purpose. It's hard to believe, but they're probably doing it.
With your help this November, we will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. And I know we are all clear toward that win, we are all clear about what we are up against. As many of you know, before I was elected vice president, before I was elected a United States senator, I was an elected attorney general, and before that, district attorney. And before that, I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, scammers who broke the rules for personal gain. So Nevada, hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. Hold on. The court's gonna take care of that. We just gonna beat him in November. We'll beat him in November. But I've certainly been dealing with people like him my entire career. For example, as Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges that scammed students. Well, Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed students. Remember that. As a prosecutor, I specialized in cases of sexual abuse. Well, Donald Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse. As Attorney General, I held Wall Street banks accountable for fraud. Well, Donald Trump was just found guilty of fraud, 34 counts. All of this is to say, in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his every day of the week. Every day of the week. That being said, let's make no mistake, this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. It is about two different visions for our nation. One, ours, focused on the future. The other, focused on the past. We're not going back. We're not going back because, Nevada, we fight for the future. A future with affordable health care, affordable child care, and paid leave. We fight for a future where we build a broad-based economy where every American has an opportunity to own a home, to start a business, and to build wealth. We believe in a future where we lower the cost of living for America's families so they have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead, to get ahead. Because look, While our economy is doing well by many measures, prices for everyday things like groceries are still too high. You know it and I know it. When I was Attorney General, I went after price-fixing schemes. And when I am president, I will continue that work to bring down prices. I will take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging, corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families, and take on big pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans. Unlike Donald Trump, I will always, I promise you, put the middle class and working families first. Because you see, Tim Walz and I may not appear to have a whole lot in common, but we have so much in common. And I'll tell you what he and I know, the middle class built the United States of America. And when the middle class is strong, America is strong. And so while we, together, work to move our nation forward, Donald Trump has a different plan. Just look at his Project 2025 agenda, which I keep saying, I can't believe they put that in writing. And so if he is elected, Donald Trump intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. And he intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis. And I don't need to tell Nevada every day, because you feel the impact of extreme heat and drought. You know the climate crisis is real. But Donald Trump, well, he claims it's a hoax. And on top of this, if Donald Trump were to win in November, he won't. But if he were to win in November, he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. Think about that. To take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions? You remember what that was like? Children with asthma, breast cancer survivors, grandparents with diabetes. Look, America has tried these failed policies before, and we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. And we are going to move forward. We will move forward. And in moving forward, we will take on the biggest issues facing our nation. For example, we will address the issue of immigration. I was the attorney of a border state, attorney general of a border state. I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers who came into our country illegally. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. We know our immigration system is broken, and we know what it takes to fix it. Comprehensive reform that includes, yes, strong border security and an earned pathway to citizenship. But Donald Trump don't want to fix this problem. He talks a big game about a lot of things. But he talks a big game about border security, but he does not walk the walk. Earlier this year, we had a chance to pass the toughest bipartisan border security bill in decades. But Donald Trump tanked the bill because he thought it would help him win an election. Well, when I am president, I will sign that bill into law. Nevada, ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom. Across our nation, we have been witnessing a full-on assault on hard-won, hard-fought freedoms and fundamental rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride. And the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. A fight for freedom. And on that last point, we all know how we got here. When he was president, Donald Trump handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court because he intended for them to undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as he intended, they did. Now, in more than 20 states, there is a Trump abortion ban. Many with no exceptions, even for rape and incest. And be sure, if he were to win, he would sign a national abortion ban, which would outlaw abortion in every state, even Nevada. But we are not going to let that happen. Because we trust women. And when I am President of the United States and Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedoms, I will sign it into law. So I know the folks who are here, I know the people of Nevada, you are battle-born. You are battle-born. And if Donald Trump wants to pick a fight over our most fundamental freedoms, we say, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Yes, we're ready. We're ready. Nevada. Generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. Now, the baton is in our hands. Each and every one of us. So we who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. And we who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass an assault weapons ban, universal background checks, and red flag laws. So much is on the line. So much is on the line in this election. And understand, this is not 2016. This is not 2020. This time around, the stakes are even higher. And that's because last month, the Supreme Court of the United States basically told the former president that going forward, he will effectively be immune no matter what he does in the White House. But think about what that means. Think about what that means. So Donald Trump has vowed to be a dictator on day one if reelected. He said he will weaponize, essentially, the Department of Justice against his political enemies. And even called for the, quote, termination of the Constitution of the United States. Let us be very clear. Someone who suggests we should terminate the Constitution of the United States should never again stand behind the seal of President of the United States. Never again. What we stand for as Americans. And you know, it all comes down to this. We are here together because we love our country. We love our country. And I do believe it is the highest form of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country. That is how we preserve the promise of America. And think about it. After all, the promise of America is what makes it possible for Tim Walz and me to be together on this stage today. Think about that. Think about that. Think about it. 2 middle-class kids, one a daughter of Oakland, California, who was raised by a working mother. I had a summer job at McDonald's. The other, a son of the Nebraska plains who grew up working on a farm. Think about it. Think about it. Only in America is it possible that the two of them would be running together all the way to the White House. Only in America. Only in America. So look, and I love you back. So look, we are together, we are running this campaign on behalf of all Americans. From red states to blue states, from the heartland to the coast. And when elected, we will govern on behalf of all Americans. All Americans. So Nevada, ultimately in this election, I believe we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? A country of chaos, fear, and hate, or a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of